Hello, hello, Viv. How are you, darling?
I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, well, I've managed to. I've been walking for the past. I mean, not walking for the past 1 hour, but I've been on the road since this morning. So I'm like, whew, finally, I can sit down.
Well, same.
again.
I can't say it differently.
Well, yes, because you just came back from tour, didn't you?
Yes, I do tour during the weekend, so it's always like that. Back and forth, very much.
This is the hectic, busy, artistic life.
It is, I can't lie.
Right, well, let's get to know you then. You are singer-songwriter,
Yes.
dancer,
Yes.
occasional rapper, I believe. No, sometimes?
No, that we're trying, okay?
Okay, as I said, occasional.
I'm not gonna give that name to myself, yeah.
Okay. What else do you do?
Okay, so I do acting, to be honest, yeah, because I started as with musicals, theater musicals. That's how I discovered, that I'm in love with dance as well. Because singing always been part of me since I was born, so it wasn't something new for me. But when I did musical theater, it was a combination of everything. So I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually, put all these things together. That's when it comes to me maybe going to study acting, because I did study acting as well for a bit, not for too long, but I just like to learn more in depth of what if I'm doing something, I want to know more about it.
Of course,
for me, it's important.
You want to do it well, as well as you can.
So I can just like make my own stuff. You get me?
Yeah, fair enough. And yeah, you grew up in Italy. Obviously, we're in Scotland now.
Yeah.
You were born in Italy, or you were?
No, I wasn't born in Italy. I was born in Togo, in Africa.
There we go. It's like, oh my God. So how old were you when you moved to Italy?
Pardon me, my phone is always on. So notifications. I was 7, 8, pretty much when I left.
And how old were you when you moved to Scotland?
I was 18.
Wow. Okay. So
I know.
Oh wow. So
I know.
you're a double immigrant. I've had a couple of people that obviously they moved their children to a different country and then they moved again. Like that's always.
It's weird because for me it's a bit different. I don't know if you're talking about the same stuff, but even if I move to from Italy to Scotland, in my head it's not like, I moved to Italy and then moved to another place. Italy is my home. Yeah. So for me it's kind of like home. When I moved from Italy to Scotland, I was like, oh, okay, I'm outside.
Yeah.
So
nah, of course, because that's that always comes up when kids move, they tend to sort of adapt a lot easier. But once you move as an adult, that's when you're like, well, this is who I am, and then you show up and like, well, I'm sticking to my guns.
Well.
All right, so I'm guessing you're fluent in Italian and all that cool stuff.
Italian and Spanish, just because when I was in Italy, I grew up with Latinos. Surrounded by Latinos. Trust me, when it comes to how many languages do you speak, it's always it's funny story. I can't lie. Because with Togo, we have French as our first language.
Right.
But because I was little, I learned it, but you learn something and then you use it. So when I got to Italy, I had to learn Italian and I was learning Spanish at the same time because just my ears, they just catch on things. And so I wasn't using French anymore, and I started to, kind of forget a bit.
Yeah.
Forget a lot, to be honest, because I can still talk in French, speak it, but yeah, I need to think a bit.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I am still fluent in my mother tongue, and so I'm Hungarian and I speak Romanian because that's the national language.
Oh my gosh, I got a friend that she's from there. That was, apart from you two, I never met anybody from there.
There's loads of us over here.
Oh,
so sometimes I'm like, oh shit, where did the words go? It's like, I have to think, I quite often, I do this exercise where I think about something in English and then I try to think of what's the word for that in Hungarian and Romanian, just to still think in that language.
Oh yeah, it's a tricky one. You ask me something, my brain goes French, Italian, English, EV, and then comes back to Spanish, and then come back to English. I make so many words. So pardon me, but this is the struggle.
I was gonna ask, so hang on, little spoilers here, but so far you've been on the BBC.
Yeah.
With BBC, was it?
Introducing.
Yes.
Yeah.
With your music.
Yes.
Which has been pretty cool. I haven't heard all the songs yet, I'm gonna be honest. Right? But I saw that you were on BBC, I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then you were touring, not that, like, literally a couple days ago.
Yeah, with Little Fix.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is the cover.
Little Mix tribute act. Yeah.
There you go. It's pretty cool, man.
It is. I'm learning a lot. Yeah.
So I feel like that's where the story is at the moment. But let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning.
Okay. Let's walk back.
yeah. That's it's like you give a little teaser of like this is what's coming up.
Okay, you give
But
it.
now, how we got here. Let's talk about how we got here. So,
okay, let's get it.
I mean, how did you end up? Probably the music. What was first? Music, acting.
Now, as I said, music always been part of me, so there wasn't any doubts. Like that was what I wanted to do, and I knew it since I was 6. But on the way, of course, I'm a really curious person. Like I need to try things, especially if it's something creative like fashion, acting, dancing. Like that's when it comes to the musical theater that I was talking about, because that just opened me like another door, another dimension. Be like, oh, okay, you don't need to be specific. Yeah, I mean, you can master something, and that's really important to master one thing, and then, but like it's also important to try things and see what you can do in the other areas, because they are part of the same field. You're gonna need them at some point. Like music is a combination of things, because music video, for example, you need to know how to dance, you need to know how to perform, and you can't be standing like how do you say it in English? A pole?
Like a pole? Like a pole, like a statue? Like
and just sing. Like for me, that just doesn't work. I think
the industry has gone past that. Like you still got the occasional, got your guitar and you're playing, but depending on the kind of music you sing as well.
True. That's
the genres kind of define how much movement you do.
Well, that's true.
I'm just gonna make sure. I'm gonna turn this over so I can see the light is on, so I can relax and make sure that you're getting recorded.
Okay, imagine recording and then not even have.
Yeah, that's why. Like, if I don't see that light, I'm like, oh, my anxiety.
No, it's on. It's on.
Cool. And yeah, I mean that's fair. That's what I've been learning from talking to all these different artists, is that you can know. I mean, you can be one thing, but it pays off to have multiple skills around the same area.
Yeah, defo. And you're right. You're completely right. Like that. It depends on the kind of music. But knowing that, like the type of music that I'm doing, it requires like a lot of like dancing, or the type of artist that I want to be, or that I am already. For me, it's fundamental to have those abilities as well. Very much.
So again, so you started out with the acting, or you already, like you said, you were always singing. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
So when did you decide, or how did you decide to, okay, I'm gonna try to do this professionally? How did that happen? Professionally,
it's hard. I mean, it's such a simple question, but it's when you like something just there and you don't even think about it because it's just in your body. That's very much music for me. Like I never thought, oh, okay, from today I'm gonna be like, I want to be a singer-songwriter and do it professionally. It was something that always been that. So it's simple, tricky question at the same time, because I don't have a precise like date and moment for it. You get me?
Okay, that's fair enough. So you just from like childhood early on, just music, just a little bit of dancing, just enjoy doing it. So in that case, I'm gonna reframe the question.
Okay.
If it wasn't a specific moment, then how did you find yourself? When did you like, oh wow, I'm actually doing this now. This is happening.
Okay, this is a good question. So when I moved from Italy, it was a hard decision. I'm not gonna make it too long. Sorry, I talk a lot.
Well, I think ideally, if you can make it as long as you want, ideally, because I got time.
You're taking the risk. I'm telling you. Listen. Okay, and you guys are taking the risk as well. But anyway, when I decided to move from Italy, it was for music. So that decision to, leave my family, it's not that I left them. I still got my mom and my sister, and I, talk to them every single day. Yeah, every single minute. But yeah, it was hard because I was only 18. I just, you know,
Yeah.
18. So my mom's like, you know, you don't know anything about the world yet. Pretty much. I'm like,
watch me. I'm going to
you get me? Like, you're still
Scotland, here I
little. You're
come.
still like 5 years old. But she trusts me so much that she let me go because she never been in UK even before, like, you know, I stepped in. So she was a bit worried, but she let me go. And for me, that's when I started to be like, okay, I made the step, right? Now we need to, you know, go to the next point, pretty much. And
So once you got here, you're like, oh shit.
yeah, I felt it.
So what was it, like a couple of weeks of like?
Weeks? No, it was years. Yeah,
Aww.
it was a bit of years. No, it wasn't all that. It wasn't sad, freaky, and weird. Like
It was more like it was more of a mix of like, this is exciting, this is an
exactly, but
adventure.
I'm like, what the hell I'm gonna do? No. I wasn't that. I wasn't like that. So okay. I was a bit worried because...
But they found out every single, like, Mom, I had a job interview. Mom, I got the job. Mom, I'm the...
Oh, trust me, bro. From the day one, she's like, oh, when are you going to start at the college? I'm like, Mom, I just got here. Like, let me put down my suitcase at least. Why are you complicating even more? I know that I'm going to get a job, but from tomorrow we can talk about it. My mom is kind of like that. Oh, when are you going to do it? But anyway, yeah, so pretty much... I had my first few years, I had to go back to uni. I mean, because I had my diploma in hospitality and catering for travel and, you know.
Nice.
And then when I got here, I was like, my mom was like, oh, you need to study and all that. And I'm like, yeah, that's the reason why I came here as well. But going to study music, it wasn't like an easy decision. Because, you know, African parents as well, sometimes they don't really understand that there's a lot more in it.
I'm noticing that, like, there's, like, Eastern European parents, African, Asian parents, we have this, like, even Middle Eastern parents, when you say something about, I want to do artistic, they're like, sorry, what?
Like, you want to, like, sit and
They
play
just
guitar.
laugh. They just laugh.
I know, right?
And they just expect you to, like, oh, you gotta grow out of this. Stop with this foolishness. You will...
Well, with the world that we're in today, well, the music industry is making a lot of money, but you just need to know how to make the money. Going back, so I was like, I'm not going to study anything that I don't want to study because I already did that with hospitality and catering, which taught me a lot. I don't regret it, but I wasn't excited about it. You get me? And I did it for 5 years studying it. So it was a long...
Studying it? Oh, wow, okay.
So it was a long process.
5 years?
Yeah.
What did they teach you in catering for 5 years?
What?
What did they teach you in hospitality and catering for 5 years?
No, it was more like hotel management.
Okay.
Business side as well.
Okay,
yeah,
fair,
no, it wasn't like carrying plates. No.
Because like I was like, you know, you join a company, you get a 1 day induction and go. Like.
Oh, that's another thing about Italy. Like it's easy to get certain, you know, these type of jobs here, but I think things changed a bit since I left. But when I was, you need to have certain certificate qualifications. I'm like, I mean, like, even a kid know how to carry plates. Like,
which part of Italy? I gotta ask.
Milan.
Okay, nice.
Milan and
Fancy.
Monza.
Cool. I've actually I had an interview with someone who studied in Milan. So.
Okay, nice. What I was saying.
Well, we talk about you getting your catering diploma.
Okay, so I went to fashion design.
Right.
Did fashion design.
That explains the outfit.
I love fashion.
The choices.
I love fashion. So like that was a way for me to, you know, get used to the, you know, new place, new environment, know more people. Because I studied English by myself when I was in Italy before coming here, but still I needed to, you know, get more used to having a conversation in English.
And did you come straight to Glasgow?
No, I went to Paisley. I was...
okay, well, that's... Obviously, it's not Glasgow, but the accent is not...
What?
The accent is already there, so...
What accent?
The Paisley accent.
The Paisley accent?
No, when you went to Paisley, you must have been like, oh wow, this is not the English I
Oh
thought.
no, at all. I was like, because I learned American English.
Of course.
That's what I learned. And then when I came here, I was like, okay.
Excuse me, Paul.
Trust me, I'm laughing so much because trust me, I couldn't understand anything. And sometimes I felt like even like a bit stupid because you know, like when you're like, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. I'm sorry, but I just don't understand it.
I mean, it's all fun and games until you literally realize that you're in a city that you barely understand the language in, and you have to like, live, and you're like, oh wow. Okay.
Nah, it was fun, but then I got used to it, and you know, more I was talking. In school, I mean, in college and everything. But yeah, from that, I was gonna go to London to study fashion promotion and marketing. But guess what? Well, we had 2020.
Okay, so this is right. Okay.
Like Corona.
So you've been doing very well then. With 2023, and look at you, BBC, you're touring.
Oh, wait a minute. It's not finished. I'm telling you.
Check you. Well, congratulations.
I'm telling you, this is like a couple of months.
Okay.
That's what you see. Okay. Yeah, because when the Corona happened, like, I had to change my plan of going to London and study there. So I just kind of like, you know, did plan B and then plan C and then plan D, pretty much.
You're like, let me see who else has London prices. Edinburgh, let's go to Edinburgh. They're not cheap.
No, actually, no. I went from Paisley to the next door, which is Glasgow.
Okay.
Okay, and then from Glasgow, I started to, you know, I met Rudy.
Yeah. Shout out to Rudy.
Yeah, shout out to Rudy. And then, yeah, he was my choreographer.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot from him in terms of dance.
Yeah.
And then we had like a few, how do you say, performances, street performances and indoor as well. And I started to make my way in terms of a singer, not even songwriter yet, because I was writing already, but I wasn't putting my stuff out. So I was like doing more like covers here, covers there, and meeting people, networking, pretty much. That's how I know a lot of people in Glasgow. Then I decided to move from Glasgow to Edinburgh at a certain point. Just felt like I needed some space. I'm kind of like that. Sometimes I just feel things and I just go. I don't even think I do think a bit, but I just follow, you know, my gut pretty much. And when I came to Edinburgh, I would say, okay, things started pretty much, because I was in my zone, and you know, I was just like, okay, here are the things I need to do. This, then this, and this, and then let's see what happened.
All right.
Pretty much, that's what happened.
I mean, it's been going fairly well, I'd say.
Yeah.
You've been kicking some butt, lady. Things have been happening.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. It's pretty cool that you've... and obviously the journey's just beginning, in a sense.
Yeah, it is. It's so weird because, you know, when you do a lot, you feel like it's been years. Your body feels like it's been doing this for like, I don't know, thousands of years, right? But if I'm thinking about it, like it just, you know, 1 year ago, pretty much.
Yeah.
That I released my first track. Like, so yeah, not 1 year ago, like more than 1 year ago, but still really recent,
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And how was the writing process? What was...
For which one of the songs, or just in general?
Well, in general, or I mean, they're all very different. I mean, they're all your babies, so you know, you love them all equally.
Oh my goodness, thanks for saying that. Like, because I literally call my songs babies. Yeah, because they are my little kids.
It is like that.
The process for my songs, well, it depends. Sorry, my phone keeps like notification everywhere. I'm a busy girl. And the process was quite, for my first track, What We Need, that was really spontaneous, I would say. It was really spontaneous because normally all the stuff that I write, I put them aside and be like, okay, let me see. Like if I really, really like it, I put it out. If I don't like it, it says that. I don't bin it because it's still my work. But I just, I like to know.
You never know when you might come back to and see something else and just be like,
yeah. But, I mean, music is like that. Like, not always you're going to have, a hit song. Like you need to give some time to yourself as well in the process of making it, and build, even the beats, instrumental, and all that. What I was saying before, sorry, my mind is.
We're talking about your babies.
Okay, my babies, my babies. So abrazinho, tu karma en la lluvia, júrame. I wrote them. I know it sounds weird and really, you might not believe it, but I wrote them in 5 days, pretty much, and one right after another. It just, I don't know, sometimes I can be there in the studio and trying to write a song, it doesn't work. Cool, I step out, live my life, come back whenever I feel like I'm ready to write again. Because it's good to be disciplined and still like be creative, but you doing the same stuff and forcing your brain to do something that is not working, it doesn't work.
I mean, you need it's like you want to have something to say, and that normally comes with like you want to think about what you want to say, or you might need a little bit of time to like just do researching like mentally, or just go out and see things and get that that could tie into this, and then suddenly the whole structure of it comes together.
Yeah, it is. Especially because those songs, my babies, like they are coming from the same place, which is my own experience of certain things. But like To Karma, for example, To Karma is a funny one because it wasn't. If you read the lyrics, it's really dramatic. It's talking about somebody promising love to somebody else, and then it was all lies, and then that person comes back trying to take revenge and making him fall in love again and then leaving him, pretty much. It sounds like telenovelas, and I watch a lot of telenovelas. So
there might have been a little inspiration there.
No, might be like it is. It's coming from that. That's what I mean.
Juanito, whatever. See, the thing is, so this
Julio.
is yes. So in Romania we have something called Prima TV, which is basically just telenovelas, but like Spanish and South American telenovelas.
Yeah.
And Romanians love that stuff.
Yes, thank you. Trust me, I can be watching telenovelas from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and I'll be still that. No.
Someone's twin brother is evil and taking his girlfriend and
like I don't know, the story is always the same, but at the same time it's it just keeps you that you want more. It's
like popcorn. It's like it's like eating ice cream.
Exactly, can I have some more?
Like it's not it's not like this deep philosophical thing, but it's still enjoyable. I get it.
It is. So yeah, because I had something, not that particular story, of course, but like it was something that was coming from my own experience, and then I was like, I just extend it, like I just made it even more dramatic, and that's where To Karma comes from.
Yeah.
And I love it because the music bachata is it's kind of like about love. It's kind of like R&B, like you can't have R&B without having something strong, like in terms of feeling. You get me?
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much.
No, that's fair enough.
Very much.
And actually, that's quite fascinating because you're the first singer-songwriter I speak to. I was speaking to like musicians and stuff, but like someone who writes songs specifically, I think.
Oh.
You're the first person I'm talking to.
Oh, nice.
Unless I completely forgot about someone, in which case I'm sorry. But
Flava J.
Yes, of course. I spoke to Flava as well.
Flava.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, my friend.
I didn't ask him about the well, I'm like, or maybe I just wasn't ready then. But now because I've been writing my stand-up comedy stuff, it's like I think in bits, and I think of like, okay, I'm gonna build this bit, and what do I want to say, and then what avenues and directions I can go with it.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, when you're writing a song, like, do you just go for the emotion? Do you have a story in mind? Do you? Obviously, there's different ways to write music. Yeah.
I think it's important to have both. Not necessary. It's not that it's a must. It's not a must. But if you have both, it just works really well. But even just following the feelings, it's a good one. That's something that I do normally do a lot, especially if I'm like not in the mood to write. But I try to go with the feeling and start writing. If I continue, it's because of the feeling guiding me, not because I have a story in mind. You get me? Because otherwise, like, I'll be forcing pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, fair. I mean, you want that raw emotional content.
Yeah, I do.
That's fair enough. And do you like, so when writing a song, obviously you said the feeling, but do you have like different, do you want to stick to a genre? You've got different genres you want to experiment with, or? Yes,
good question. I did. When it comes to experimenting, I did. Because I grew up with R&B,
right,
with blues, gospel, and that's the music that I've been listening to since I was little. But living in Italy and being surrounded by Latinos, and especially speaking Spanish as well, I'm just in love with the Latin world. That's when I started to experiment with my music and see what I can do. With my knowledge from R&B to maybe trying bachata and trying like pop Latino and having kind of like a mix. That's where Júrame, Abracinho, Tu Karma comes from, because you can still hear the R&B flow in it, with different instrumental, which is a rhythm, which is like bachata or kizomba, for example. But I'll say home is R&B for me. Okay. R&B is home for me. And that's something that I'm more focused on just now.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, everybody has like that.
Yeah.
Not even comfort zone, but the thing you feel most bonded with, and the thing that's more, as you said, at home.
Yeah.
Just most honest to you.
Yeah. No, I'm in love with R&B. Like, yeah. It's just for me, it's that music that will never die, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, a lot of the genres, I mean, obviously they ebb and flow, but there's certain things that still kind of universal.
Yeah. That's it.
Cool. And I guess I want to ask about the dancing now, because obviously, so you've got the music, right?
Yeah.
Then suddenly, at the same time, we got dancing going on.
In which way?
I mean, it kind of comes back to, so I guess I want to ask about, not Little Mix, but what's the name of the?
Little Fix.
Little Fix, yes. So I'm curious about how that came about and how you've been finding that.
All right.
And what was the experience of it? Because obviously, I'm guessing it's a fairly physical show.
Yes.
It's not. It's not we go on and hold the mic and sit down. And
no, baby.
Gently, my guitar weeps and you go off stage.
Oh no, totally the opposite. Yeah, it's been. You want me to start how like I joined or what? Okay.
I mean, tell us a story. Whatever story you want to tell us.
I'll tell you the story. So it was back in December.
Right.
I just received like a message from my manager from the group. That wasn't my manager at that time, of course, and he was looking for the new Leanne, somebody to replace Leanne. And then, it's funny because it was that close, like, to move on to another girl, because I don't use Facebook. I'm sorry if I'm missing somebody's message, but I just don't use it. I use more Instagram. So I couldn't see I didn't see the messages. And after 2 weeks, and I text him back and he was like, oh, great. So it was like really quick. Like the day after.
2 weeks later.
No, so I replied 2 weeks later. So I knew that I had, if I wanted to go for
rush.
It. Like, I'm telling you, like I messaged him during the night. The day after, I was already planning the how do you call it? A wee, you know, I don't know. I forgot in English again. Pardon me.
That's
a wee
okay.
reel,
Yeah.
just to audition.
Okay, like a self-tape.
Yeah, thank you. Because I had to send it to him, and you know, with singing and see a bit, you know, talk a bit about myself and all that. And then from that we kind of like went to the next stage, which was like having a proper Zoom meeting with him. And he at that point he was still in US. So it was really quick. It was really quick because we were both like doing different things and trying to make that work at the same time. But I was so excited about it because I've always been like Little Mix fan,
right?
Since I was little. Because when I was in Italy, we used to have like their song playing on the TV, on the radio. So it was familiar for me.
Yeah.
When I mean fan, like no one of the crazy one, but I knew them and I loved them.
I'm going to replace you, Leah. I'm coming for your soul.
Sorry. No, I just wanted to specify, not because I knew
just sending like late night messages on Instagram. Leanne, why don't you answer me?
I'm not one of them. Okay, I'm a cool fan. So it was really.
I feel like you say this, but if you actually bumped into her in person, you would lose your shit. You would be like, ah.
No. I know. You know why I know that? Because I met Pink.
Okay.
Yeah, because I met Pink when I was working in hospitality catering. You see.
But you were working, so you had to be professional.
Still.
I mean, it's Pink.
Exactly. So I could have gone crazy. No, but coming back to it. So yeah, for me it was really interesting, I would say. Because imagine if it was another artist or somebody else that I didn't know about, you know, their music at all. I had to do everything, you know, like research and learn the songs. But with Little Mix, like their music melodies were in here, and I even forgot pretty much, because when I moved from Italy, you know, I was like listening to other stuff, you know. So yeah, it was great. It was great because we went straight into rehearsal after 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, because it was Christmas.
Yeah, of course.
So right after Christmas, you know, period, we started rehearsal, and it was an intense one.
I mean, I guess that's what I'm wondering about, obviously, because with musical theatre, we kind of know it's a bit like the circus, like it's just.
Sorry?
It's like a bit like the circus, like it's just so physically demanding.
It is, like, you mean the tribute industry?
Yeah, like it's just, in the circus in the sense of like it's just physical, it's just, there's all kinds of moves you have to be doing and one after the other, it's not like, and it's all you, it's not. Yeah,
no, in fact, like I'm still me, I'm still Viv Latifa when I'm performing. Like,
but I mean, it's not like you get a break or a long break or something, somebody else comes up and does another song. You have to do all the songs.
Oh yeah, if we have a set for 1 hour, we need to go for the set of 1 hour. Like, yeah. But I'm so grateful for this experience because that's something that I wanted to do. I didn't know that was gonna come in this way in terms of like the tribute act, but the tribute act is teaching me a lot about, you know, I'm already a performer. I know how to perform, but there's certain things that I might not know. And I'm discovering right now because whenever we go, sometimes it's a small gig, sometimes it's a big gig, like festival with the two, like, I don't know, 7,000 people, something like that, or even more. Like, because they are quite, it varies. It really varies, it varies a lot, and it's crazy because we can be just like in a small bar here. I mean, that's just an example, and then go to another city after 3 hours and performing on a big stage with the other acts. Yeah.
I mean, I got to ask in that case, what was the lesson that stood out to you that you learned from doing all this? Besides, I'm guessing just military type discipline of like, wake up, do this, be ready, drink your water.
Yeah,
don't eat anything too exciting because you don't want that.
It's weird. Like time-wise, I've always been really oh, I need to do this at this hour, and then I need to do the next for my own music stuff. So that wasn't new. But traveling, yeah, traveling's hard because I need to wake up, I don't know, 4 a.m., have a shower, get ready, get my stuff done, and then catch the bus and then go at the meeting point, and then from there go to England somewhere. I'm saying somewhere because there are like so many locations.
So you're leaving from Scotland and you're going down to England regularly?
Yeah, every weekend pretty much.
Right, okay.
Every weekend. If I'm not in Manchester, I'm in Birmingham or Billingham or South in England somewhere, or London, or yeah. But I love it. I really do love it because that's the life that I want to live with my own career. You get me? So it's good to experience it now than later. Even later, it's fine. But it's better to learn it now.
Period. But you want
yeah, because I'm more ready. I know already what I'm supposed to do in a certain places, and and how I'm gonna feel, how to control myself, how to balance life, and which is hard because I'm still learning that part.
Yeah.
To
you
balance
still working
everything.
part-time as well at the same time?
Yes and no.
Right, okay.
If I need money, I need extra stuff, yeah, because I do filming stuff as well.
Right,
like for example, extra that can help me out with just to have something more for that month. And then I've just joined a new production. We're working on 10 Times Beautiful, which is a new project that we have. For example, that one as well is another source of like income. But apart from being like a source of income, it's something that's given me experience as well. Because all I try to do is I rather go for something that's hard in terms of balancing, than go for something like working in a hotel again, because that doesn't stimulate my creativity. You get me? I feel like my creativity just starts to like it just doesn't.
Yeah, there's something that happens.
Yeah,
it's like you get to a point where you're like, you know what? I'd rather just, if I'm gonna get paid, I work hard, but I want to work in my industry.
Exactly, that's it.
Like it doesn't matter what, but at least I know I'm around it.
Exactly.
And mentally, I'm like, cool.
Yeah,
let's go.
Because it's a lot of hustle. Like, because beside this, I still have my music stuff that I'm running by myself. Because I'm, of course, like as many other artists here in Scotland, we don't have managers and it's great because I'm learning certain things on myself, and I'm learning a vast role that probably I'm gonna have people doing those stuff for me in future. Soon, I hope. So it's tricky. It's a tricky one, but I love it.
There's something to be said for, like, the dream, or I don't know, the Hollywood story is, oh my God, they came out of university or they came out of school and they got this really cool part, and then, oh my God, the career took off and da.
I really believe that story, by the way.
It's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story. But here's the thing. There's something to be said for grinding on your own for a while and learning how to look out for yourself, your business, your finances, and all that stuff. Because if you get picked up by a manager straight away without having any of those skills, oh boy, they're gonna eat you up alive.
I know.
Like the story, we've had this chat with Rudy as well, of like, you get picked up by someone, and the next thing you know, you don't understand how all the finances are happening, and then very often, the story all this time of like, okay, so this. What's going on with the money, guys?
I know.
So you need to have your own feet on the ground firmly.
Yeah, and I'm grateful for that, and I feel like, that's the best way to get into the industry. At least, like having the knowledge of, you don't need to master those roles, but know what they require or what's their responsibility.
Have an understanding of it.
Yeah, having an understanding of it. Otherwise, as you said, they
at least the fundamentals, if not all the details.
Yeah, because if somebody is not doing the work in the right way, you will see that because you've been there. You know what they're supposed to do. If they're not doing it, you'll be able to see it. But if you never tried it, you won't know what's right and what's wrong, pretty much. So
tell me about the BBC then. Tell me about How did that come about? Because that's pretty cool.
The BBC introducing. Like.
How do you? Well, I mean, I was gonna ask. Which is the achievement that you feel most excited about? Obviously, they're all matter. They're all important.
Yeah.
And when they happen at the time, they're the biggest thing that happened to you until then, right? But.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Júrame, I'll say. Júrame because I just, it's normal, but I didn't expect it. That was my first one, like,
right.
as BBC introducing. So I was like, oh, okay. Very much. Because it's not that I knew that my music is good. I know that my music is good.
Yeah.
But when you're in the learning process, so you just do things, you just put it out, and you just like whatever happened will happen, pretty much. So I was like in that mode, and I'm still kind of like in that mode right now, because I feel like doing things tailored to to maybe a result, it doesn't help, because if you don't get that result, you get disappointed.
Yeah.
So just be happy with yourself, with your work, and just put it out. Whatever happened. Pretty much, that was but yeah, it was a good achievement. I can't lie, it was a good achievement.
Nice.
It is.
I mean, you're an independent artist,
yes.
musically speaking. How are you approaching? Are you thinking about studios? Are you thinking about that kind of stuff? Or
what do you mean studio? Sorry.
Labels. You think about labels. Are you wary about labels? Because obviously we've heard the stories of labels doing all kinds of stuff. And we're not throwing shade, but we are a little bit. But no, it's just like, as an independent artist, you want to make sure that you have your own voice and you don't want to get lost in the shuffle, as it were. How are you approaching that side of the industry?
I feel like when it comes to label, I can't say, oh, I'm going to promise I'm going to stay independent forever.
Yeah,
no,
of course.
Because things change.
And money's nice.
Yeah, but also because like it helps me to do what I want to do, pretty much. You get me? So like, at the point that I am right now, I'm an independent artist, and I'm going to stay independent till I learn what I have to learn, which I don't know till when, but that will happen when it's supposed to happen. I'm not going to force it, pretty much, because all this management stuff that I'm doing myself, they are like learning, that's going to help me when it comes to working with a label, for example. And so I don't have a really like an answer for that. I feel like we're kind of like most of the independent people, not everybody, most of them, they're just like working on themselves just to make it through. I feel like I want to get to a good level before having any contact with the label. For example, I want to be out, to know that, okay, I made what I had to do. I just did it, and I'm in a place to deal. Not just, talking from, oh yeah, I'm an artist and I really want to be famous and whatever. As a businesswoman, no, as just an artist, you get me?
Yeah.
Pretty much, that's my approach with the label, because I'm a business.
Okay, someone's already had that already sorted.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I feel like artists tend to miss. Not all of them, but quite often is, we're all about the art, the self-expression, the beautiful things. But then there's this, you have to have the business mentality also.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm just curious about how did that come about? When did you realize, okay, I need to be aware of this? Is this the catering degree and management degree coming into play in your life?
Yeah. So, yeah, my life, you remember that story of like, manager coming up and, everything is beautiful and they just sign a contract or whatever. I had that dream and I still believe it to a certain point.
Okay.
But once I started, checking out the industry by, knowing people, networking and all that. And even from the moment I put my first song out, I was already like seeing stuff that are like, okay, I need to know about this. Otherwise somebody like, just gonna, how do you say it in English? You need to protect yourself.
Someone can take advantage.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh God, I remember this. I don't know where I saw this saying, but it was quite funny. It was, when experience meets money, money will walk away with experience, and experience will walk away with the money.
Can you repeat it again?
It's basically if if someone experienced meets someone with money, the person who only has the money will walk away with a lesson, with an experience. And the person who already had the experience will walk away with the money.
Oh, yes. Oh, I love that.
And I don't know where I heard it, but it's stuck in my head. But it's kind of a real thing of... Yeah, it's not even necessarily about, just people taking advantage, but there's some very hardcore bargaining and business practices that you need to be aware of.
No, it's fundamental.
Like lowballing and things like that.
Yeah, even just like the releasing process, like you need to make sure that you're covered, like copyrights. You need to know about copyrights. You need to know about your intellectual property, like stuff as well. You need to know about, all the money that you need to invest. You need to know about, how do you say in English, budgeting?
Yeah, that's...
Budget. You need to plan. You need to be your business, just like any other business out there. An artist is a business. Especially when you don't have a manager, you need to know those sides.
And as an independent artist yourself, how do you break it down? Tell me, what's the business analysis of Viv Latifa? Like, what are we looking at?
Okay, so investment, like the financial part, that drives me crazy. It drives me crazy because it is so important, and without it, nothing will function. Because we're in a world that you need money to do stuff.
You need money.
Sure. That's the reason why I know that I split myself in so many different things, but as I said before, I'd rather split myself in those things like theater and lyrics, because I'm learning, I'm having the experience back and not just money, instead of going to a hotel and work 40 hours per week and just kill my creativity because I won't have time to breathe and to write.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So money is really important for me. I need to be safe and have peace of mind when it comes to the financial part. That's a must. And then planning my days is still tricky. It's tricky because sometimes I plan things and then things happen. You can't control the entire world.
Well,
things go.
Sometimes you can't even control yourself, unfortunately.
Exactly.
You try your best. Next thing you slip on a banana peel, and now you're in bed for 2 days, and you're like, well, fuck.
Oh, that's too dramatic, by the way.
It's dramatic, but has it happened? Yes.
It did. Yeah.
Or you got your day planned. I'm gonna do this and this and this, and your cousin calls you pissed off because he just broke up with his girlfriend. You're like, okay, let's deal with this drama right now.
Yeah. Like those are things that you can't control, and I made peace with myself with those stuff. You get me? Because at the beginning I was like, no, I'm still gonna do it. It doesn't matter. I'm stubborn. I've always been so stubborn. And through all this experience, I'm learning to to tell myself, okay, hold on, what could be back and breathe, pretty much.
Take a step.
So it's a hard one, like planning and organizing my days.
Yeah.
Because things can change. That's why I have plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E, plan F.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've noticed as well is that you have all these projects and projects fall through all the time.
Yeah.
But if you got other projects lined up just in case, you just land. I'm like, okay, can't do that. Sucks. I'm doing this then.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. My brain is like, it's always there. Okay, what we can do, how we can make it work. Pretty much like panic. No, I'm not panicking, but it's quite busy. It's quite busy. So busy.
Okay, so obviously the financial side of things, planning your days. Do you look at like music plays? Do you look at numbers wise of okay, how many people listen to this song, or do you take that into consideration?
Yes, I do. I take in consideration, but I try to not put it as the main. I try to not focus too much on it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that can throw you off. Because I don't want to be writing, somebody told me once, there's artists that write for people and artists that write for themselves. Yeah. And then there's artists that write for both.
Yeah.
I want to be one of those that write for both.
Yeah.
Because I love music. If I chose this career, it's because I'm in love with music. So I'm not gonna try to create something that is not me, or try to portray something that is not me. You get me? So like, but I still need to have my eyes open how the industry is changing, because this industry is one of the, you know, the least one that changed quite a lot. It changed a lot.
It's quite volatile.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, there's like trends, obviously. I have a very minimal knowledge, but obviously I'm aware of the genres that have been out there, and you could watch. I was watching this interview with Rick Rubin about rap. You know, about how it started and they wouldn't play it, and like the first rap album or LP that came out, how different it sounded to what it actually was in the clubs. And then they start playing it, and now they're in trouble. They're getting sued for sampling and all that. And then 20 years on, it's like the biggest. Like, I'm pretty sure right now rap is probably one of the biggest genres out there. It's beaten rock. I'm a rock. I like both, but like I grew up listening more to rock than rap. But it's one of the biggest genres now. But it took a solid 10 to 15 years to be at the top of the game.
Yeah, that's.
So there's like, there's these trends that, you know, there's these waves that come and go.
Yeah, which is, I try to be careful with, because it's really easy to fall in. You get me? Like, even like our own ears, like sometimes you're like, oh, I'm not really listening to that music, but it's constantly, you're constantly surrounded by that music. You start to write and you're like, oh, I got a new melody. And then you make somebody, I don't know, one of your friends listen to it. Oh, it sounds like that person. You get me? So it's something that like it just gets into your brain and you don't even know. So I try to be careful with what I listen to in terms of music as well, and not constantly listening to music as well, because sometimes you need a break to allow that creativity to come, you know, forward pretty much. So that's it.
Yeah, no, you got to be careful. And the other thing that, this is my mantra now, but like, there's no point in trying to create, you know, stuff that's not true to you, because that means you are competing with the people that stuff is true to them. Yeah. You will never gonna be as good at it as somebody else who genuinely believes in it, who's, you know, their heart and soul is in it. You can feel that difference, that authenticity. You know, I can write types of jokes that I don't believe in, but it's like, for me, is I can never tell a joke that I don't understand why it's funny. Like, have you ever, if I don't find it funny, how am I gonna make it funny, you know?
True, right?
So you gotta start with yourself first and foremost.
Exactly.
And I think that's the same true for music as well. Like, if you don't, if emotionally if you don't understand it, it doesn't resonate with you, then how are you gonna do it justice?
That's all, it just doesn't work very much.
Fair enough. And this kind of comes back to the question about like listeners and stuff, but is that something you keep in mind of, like followers, viewers, listening?
Yes.
So you're aware of it? But.
I need to be aware of it. Like, I am, and I need to, because sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like I want to be on Instagram, for example. To be honest, if I don't have to, sometime I will be happy just to go without Instagram for a bit. But I can't, just because as a business, now these days, it's fundamental to have a social media active. You need to be there, because that's the way things are working right now. You need to have a lot of followers. You need to create a fan base. And if you're not out there, how do they know who you are? How do they know what you're doing? Especially in this moment right now that I'm kind of like a bit quiet when it comes to my music. I'm working, of course. I got my music video that I'm working on. We can talk about that later.
Yes, please.
But like, if I'm not active, how do they know that I'm still here? Like, maybe one day I decide to put, you know, music out, and then the next day I'm like, oh no, you know what, I'm just gonna go and do fashion now. It doesn't work pretty much.
I mean, it worked for Kanye, but to be fair, the man.
Well, I'm not Kanye West. So
But again, there's a difference. He's doing that at a level where he's got name recognition to a point where
that he can allow it.
Yeah, like you're a star to a degree, and you know, it doesn't have to be Kanye. It can be The Rock. Right, let's talk about someone a bit less toxic. But when you're The Rock and you want to do tequila,
You can do tequila.
Yeah, because people are like, oh my God, it's The Rock's tequila.
Exactly.
I never knew he cared about tequila, but it's The Rock. I'll try it. You know, like,
Exactly.
like the amount of people, Ryan Reynolds, he's got his own gin. You know, it's kind of like they come up with these random, oh, it's not random, the stuff that they like and they care about, but these ideas, like he's doing an internet one and he's doing the gin and he's doing a football club as well, right? And it's just so out there, but because they have name recognition as a brand, then there's an in, and there's investors that are like, yeah, we like that. Well, name recognition is good. And it's almost like you have to be aware of this stuff because you have to cooperate with the money people, and that can be a give and take, and it can be challenging.
Yeah.
And that's why it comes back a little bit again to, it's better to be an independent and figure out who you are by yourself before the money people get a hold of you, so you don't get lost.
100%, yeah.
Because time and time again, the story of I went with this label and I hated every single year of it because I wasn't myself and it was horrible.
Yeah.
So you gotta figure out your shit.
Figure that out, baby. Yeah.
Okay, well in that case, tell us about the music video.
So yes, I'm working on a music video which is related to my album that I'm working on.
Which
just
song?
Now.
Oh, is it spoilers?
Yeah, I'll just keep it secret for now.
Okay.
But it's one of the songs that will be included in the album.
Okay.
Therefore, so even the releasing date, I'm sorry, but I can't say it yet. Maybe closer to the date, I will. But yeah, for now, it just
Yeah, you mentioned obviously you had a crew set up. You had to make some considerations, budgeting decisions and such.
Yeah, oh yes, we were talking about the funding as well.
Yeah.
For example, I tried for funding and it's still pending. As I said before, I'm not gonna allow that to stop me, going forward with what I plan for the music video. Of course, it won't be exactly what I plan as big as I plan it, but it will be still like high level. High quality, but just the number of people involved in it won't be that big, pretty much.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
How are you doing for location? Have you picked out the locations, the spots?
I did. It took me a while. I mean, it wasn't difficult. It wasn't difficult because, I mean, if it's Glasgow, if it's not Glasgow, it's Edinburgh. If it's not Edinburgh, it's Glasgow. And I can say I have both, pretty much.
Or Paisley. It can be, why not in Paisley?
Paisley is not true. True.
Just near the train station, just the Paisley train station.
I remember that place really well. Imagine. No, Paisley is not included, unfortunately.
Well, in the next one, it'll be in the next one. I'm sorry, I'm gonna just sit like this now and just make sure I see the red light.
Oh, okay. No, it's still alright.
Okay,
still alright. Yeah, what I was saying, I mentioned before that I tried to get a lot of people involved, but because, of course, the funding, I don't know what's going on with that, but it's still pending. I'm just working with the budget that I have, pretty much, with my own, with the money that I have for now.
Did you find that, obviously these creative challenges and having to, work with the funding being what it is, did it help or did it hinder your vision?
Sorry?
Because in the sense of like sometimes not having a lot of, financial backing can mean that you break it down to the essentials. It can make it simpler, but sometimes a bit more potent.
To be honest, yes. Like it helped because my creative brain is too creative sometimes. And I start thinking about something. I'm like, oh my gosh, we can do this as well. Or like, we can put this and then put that and this. Yeah, like you get me? I just go crazy with ideas, pretty much. So my creative director, in fact, he was like, hold on. You are putting 10 music videos in one. Separate them, like just choose one and do it for now. Because it's just gonna be too much content, too much concept, and at the end of you're not even gonna understand what the music video is about.
Like it doesn't flow. You don't you don't understand it.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to be simpler.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, for me, this is a very basic metaphor, but for me, it's cooking. So lockdown, obviously, I did a bunch of cooking because I was at home, and I bought all these spices for my cupboard, and I was like, I'm gonna, learn how to cook. And then, interestingly enough, whenever I cook something, I was like, I'm gonna put that. And next thing you know, every single dish I cooked just had everything in it, and it all tasted the same because it just. So nothing had like
season.
Yeah, it didn't have like a distinctive flavor of its own. It was just different versions of the same curry. With
Chili here, chili that, chili here, chili
chili, and then I don't know, was it thyme? And okay, I'm gonna put some oregano. Oh, and some coriander, and some cinnamon. Wait, what? Why? You know, like you have to. How about you combine them in a way that they work before you throw everything at it? So that was me being like, maybe I can just relax and just start with salt and 2 more spices, and then take it from there and work your way up.
Yeah, I don't use salt though. I always use the mix.
Okay.
No, by saying that it helped. Like having those, by saying that, like even coming from to the season instead of like using the salt. Okay, we are making it like a cooking type of like talking right now, but follow me through. So if you use salt, right, it's still it's cool, right? It's simple and it's good. Yeah. It's good, but having the mix, I don't even have it here. There's like a vegetarian
salt mix.
Yeah, it's like seasoned with multi-season. You see that multi, that's like my creativity going crazy, right? Yeah. True, it's not good, but it's not that bad neither. Because that helped me to understand, oh, okay, this is a great idea. That's going to be my next music video. But if I just use salt, plain salt, I just get stuck on that. Again,
it's like... You can't be too rigid and you can't be too creative. Exactly. And you have to find a middle ground.
Exactly. So not only salt and not only multi, like just
just figure out your own kitchen, guys. I mean,
you get me? Figure out your own cooking.
I mean, it's chicken. How hard can it be? Just put something on it, for Christ's sake. Just not everything.
No plain chicken because I ain't eating that. I can't eat. Oh my God.
We're against plain chicken in this interview. I have you know.
Like unseasoned food is not for me. I ask my girls from LitFX. Like I literally go around with the with the mix season, multi-season thing.
Well, you could say you have your own little mix. Whoa.
It's not even a little mix thing because like they don't understand it. I mean, it's important because otherwise, how can I eat? Like
Viv's little mix.
I'm sorry. Viv Latifa, little mix.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
Now you're officially the Spice Girls.
Seasoning everything.
That's gonna be your next tribute band, the Spice Girls.
Well, let's see.
Fair enough. Okay, and hang on. What else we wanted to mention about the music video? Obviously. Super excited. It's all a bit secretive at the moment.
Yeah.
Did you come up with the structure and is there a storyline that you came up with? I mean, again, not too many spoilers, but
no, it's okay. I can't love it.
Did you have to come up with a story for it, or was there a director? Is it a bit more conceptual? Like,
I would say it's more like conceptual.
Okay.
Instead of storyline, because those stories like I have them for the next. Music video that I was trying to include in this one.
So this is not a telenovela.
It's not telenovelas, but it would be so good to have like un poco de telenovelas, sí.
Telenovela.
Solo un poquito. Just a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
But knowing this one, you won't see drama, but it's better.
All right.
For the next.
What are the ambitions? What are the big dreams, plans after the? Is there one music video then another one, or?
I'll say, there's gonna be other music videos, of course. But I'm more focused on the songs. Those are like the songs are the albums. It's my priority when it comes to the actual music, because through that as well, I'm gonna know what works in terms of music video, what I need to put before and what comes after. Pretty much, there should be a storyline that follow. Pretty much. Yeah. Even if this music video is more conceptual, you get me? But there's still meaning in it. It's not just randomly put together.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to ask. So when you like write an album, how do you put it together? Do you think in terms of like, not necessarily, some people can think in terms of a story or a mood, or it's like, oh, this is like a breakup and it starts here and it ends there, or is it like a general overall arching theme, or let's go?
Now I'm gonna tell you something. This is not my first album that I planned.
Right, okay.
Pretty much. I had, in fact, in an article that was published a few months ago. A few months? Yeah, it's been a while. like November, something like that, I mentioned that I was gonna release an album, and I was supposed to release an album this year, but then my plan changed. And I'm actually glad that changed, because that album, it was more like it wasn't randomly put together, but it didn't have something that put everything, like that make them stick together.
Yeah.
It rather is like either is like a storyline that follow. It doesn't have to be there's a particular story on it. Like, it can be just like ideas. It would just be like, I don't know, I want to make an album of moon, or just, I know that's a weird example. But I just wanted to make an album about all the creature in the ocean, or something about Olympics. For example, that's a concept, right? So you have room. It's still that. It got the boss, but you can put a few stuff in it, right? But I'm glad that it didn't go that way, because I wouldn't discover that. I wouldn't have the feeling that I want to come back home with my music in terms of R&B. I want to start with R&B because that's how I started with music. You get me? So for me, like, having that realization of, walk back and plan everything again, and it's something good for me. It's something good, because I can put something out that's strong, that represent me even more. Not that the other one, it didn't represent me, but it just well put together, more well put together, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, so you feel like this album, now that it's had time and you had to like rework stuff, and you had time to rework stuff, that it's more of who you want to be as a. I mean, if this is your first official
album.
So you wanna make, wanna kick the door down with the right foot forward.
Exactly.
Like,
that's.
This is me.
That's it. Yeah, because like the other musics, like they might, like, I'm not saying all of them, there might be one or two here part of the album, I don't know, a remix or something.
And there's nothing wrong with those, it's just about how you, coming back to the kitchen metaphor of like, does it fit the menu?
Yeah, no, I need to have that vision in mind, because without that vision, I don't know where I'm going next. You get me? Like, with the other one, maybe I might have put it out, but then what? With this one, I know that I'm starting from here and I'm gonna go right or maybe left. You get me? But if I didn't have a base, or just put the other one out without any other plan, I'll be like, okay, I put my album out already. Hey, okay, where to go? You get me?
Yeah.
But also, the reason why I even stopped that project is the business side.
Right, okay.
Marketing is really important. Having a strategy to build. Like, you can put something out, but it's kind of like cultivating. Like, I would say cultivare.
Yeah, cultivating an audience.
Like,
or
no, it's, how do you say?
Cultivate.
Doing garden?
Gardening or?
Gardening, yeah. I mean,
you want to plant.
You need to plant. Yeah, you need to plant where you need to put water on it. Pretty much. If you just like plant that and you don't put water on it, that's gonna die from one day to another. Just that. That's how I look at music, especially my music, because I learned a lot from these singles that I put out. It was a bit to learn the industry as well. That's the reason why they were like coming like one after another, and I learned a lot. Because marketing is really, really important. And if I don't have a plan, a proper strategy for each one song, it rather is a single or an album or an EP, you need to have a clear strategy. Otherwise, you're going to be paying too much for promo here, promo that, promo here, promo that, or you're not going to pay for any of that in the song that's just going to die. So even like putting money into things, you need to know, is it worth it? Pretty much. So I'm really in the thinking mode and trying to be careful with those stuff. Pretty much, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of a curveball question for you.
Yeah.
Why Scotland?
Why Scotland? Yeah. I can say that I didn't choose it, to be honest. No. I did. No.
Controversial.
No, I did not. No, that's the
are
just
you
the
about
the
to
reality.
like turn it around and be like, Scotland chose me? Is it gonna be one of those?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I'll say I know, but it's not what you expected. Just because my phone. Okay.
It's all good.
Just because, literally.
I don't know
I don't know who's calling, but I'm sorry.
If it's
this
mom,
is not the
you
moment.
just went from under the table to under the couch. Still love you, mom.
Nobody's seen it. Oh, good. I'll respond later. About Scotland. You may be like, you might be here, by the way.
Oops.
I'll call you later, mom. Yeah, because I had my cousin. She's still living in Scotland. So for me, it was just easier to go from Italy to here instead of going to London. Because stubborn as I am, I was like, I want to go to London because I know that music is that, you know, they're just excited.
And London is a land of opportunity.
Yeah.
Very expensive, but,
okay.
but it's manageable. London's one of those places you need a plan. You can't just...
Exactly.
I mean, you can go open wide-eyed and whatever, but best you have a plan.
Exactly. And my plan was ruined twice, in fact, because like with the corona, for example.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough.
You get me? Because of course I was studying fashion promotion, but still writing my music. You get me?
Yeah.
So like that's just explain how much, you know, if I'm here, there's a reason. So my answer to you is like I didn't choose it. Somebody else chose it for me. My destiny chose it for me. I need to be here.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
very telenovela.
Don't do that.
My destiny.
My destiny, my destiny.
Flavio.
Actually, there's actually a telenovela called Destino. So watch it. I got so many. I got La Patrona también. But anyway, let's stop that. don't try to get me in that because I'm not gonna stop.
Okay.
So yeah, I feel like even when it comes to Edinburgh, the reason like I moved from Glasgow, like from one day to another to Edinburgh, pretty much, I needed to be out of Glasgow in that particular moment of my life. I needed to be in Edinburgh, like you know, move to here, and that's explained even like as soon as I moved, things start to work out. I'm not saying everything was beautiful, pinky and beautiful. No, true. But I've been able to put my music out.
Yeah.
And I, you know, got to finally to have the first BBC introducing, you know, radio play and had so many other contacts. Like when I was in Glasgow, like sometimes I didn't, like, I know some people from Glasgow from the moment I moved from Glasgow instead of when I was in Glasgow. So like it just explained how much like you can be in one place and be really close.
Yeah.
Like you need to go away sometime to look from another perspective and be like, okay, this is actually the environment that I was in. You get me? Like, okay, this doesn't work and all that.
Yeah, sometimes it's when you're in a place like obviously you get certain habits, you know, you go with the same group and you go with the same people and you can break it while you're there, but sometimes it might be easier to like completely break it and then go back and
and it's
breaking the pattern and breaking the habits.
Exactly. And it's about like priorities and you know that particular thing that you're doing in that particular moment. Is it what does it, you know, what you're getting from it very much. That's something that I always try to, when it comes to my time, my own time, like in general, like what I'm getting from it. Like, is it worth it? If it's not worth it, I'm out of the door, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, if I go to a party or something, I go for a reason. True, I can be partying and all that. But if it's like, I think, okay, I can network. I can meet somebody and I can collab with somebody. I can, like, there's always, like, that business mind always there for me. I don't, especially when it comes to, you know, going to party. Because I'm young. I'm not an old lady, whatever. Like,
I'm laughing because I showed up to OnlyFans and Hip Hop.
What?
With my OnlyFans and Hip Hop with my business card. I was like, hey, interview. You want an interview? I can do an interview.
Yeah, I mean, you need to go with that mentality.
You have to have it. Like, a lot of people are, again, the artistic community, you know, it's beautiful, but it can be kind of anti sort of practical sometimes. We're like, well, we're just gonna be like, you're just gonna network, you're just gonna be like, remember everybody and takes everyone's name. And I'm like, yeah, sometimes that's what you gotta do.
Exactly.
You do what you gotta do, and
it's like your business card ready. Hello,
love to meet you. Boom.
It's my business card.
I mean, not quite like that, but it is like, hey, this is what I do, this is what I do. If you're interested,
yeah, why not? Maximum you receive like a no. Okay, it's not the end of the world.
As long as you're polite and respectful.
Exactly. That's
the worst that should happen is not yet. That no doesn't even mean never. It just means I'm not interested at the moment, and that's great.
And that's calm. You not everybody has to be interested. Pretty much.
The world is big enough for all of us.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's been a tricky one.
So you've been. Have you been settling into Scotland? Have you been? I'm not saying you're like, okay, this is it. You found the house and you settled down, and just have you been making it your second home? You feel, or?
Kind of, because when it comes to my music, this is where things started to, come alive. So in terms of music, yes. In terms of Vivian.
Yep.
I try to, sometimes I do separate Viv Latifa from Vivian.
Okay.
I know that's a weird thing, but it just helped me to balance my life, if I have one. I'm saying that because I constantly work, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
But like I still have my family and all that, and that's Vivian when I'm with my family. It's not Viv Latifa.
The Vivian is what your mom calls you. It's like, Vivian!
That's true. Now people call me normally Viv, but yeah, my mom.
Like when you get that phone call like Vivian, and you're like.
No. When she called me, like, when I say full name, not Vivian and my surname, no, full name Vivian. I know that I did something, or maybe she thinks that I did something.
Yeah, that's it.
And so that's
the classic. That is.
That's trouble.
I don't know what is it about parents around the world when they say your full name, you're like, oh boy.
Oh, exactly. Oh, mamma mia. Yeah. So no. Yeah.
And, how are they taking your artistic journey? Are they
my
support?
mom,
I'm guessing they're at this point they have to support because they have no choice.
We'll tell them. Yeah. No, my mom always been quite supportive since.
Good.
Yeah. Since the start, and I'm not saying she's still African parent, like she's still African parent, remember that? So like she's always like, oh, wouldn't it be easier for you to go and study medicine, because on medicine, if it's not medicine, it's business. I'm like, this is a business too, you hear me? But like I feel like, just how do you say give the doubts.
Is
it right? How do you say in English?
Benefit of the doubt? Or?
Thank you. Benefit of the doubt. Yeah. Because somebody told me once, I believe in God. I'm Christian. So, like, God will never, if he showed me something, he won't show the same thing to another person. You get me? That's my vision. Like, he showed me to me that I'm going to be that, right? If I run and go to you, oh, you know what? I saw this and I'm gonna be there like one day, and there's gonna be purple lights and all that. You'd be like, you're crazy. Go back to sleep.
Yeah, okay, I get what you mean. That's like.
So I can't force it.
Yeah, your vision's your vision. You can't.
You just need to let things flow, and things gonna show like that person. When you're there, they're gonna be like, okay, yeah, you made it. But I can't be like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm a queen, I'm there and I'm gonna jump on the stage and all that. Like, I can say it to a certain point, maybe, because like to close people that like they know how much I work hard for this and I believe it. But I don't need to make you believe it.
Yeah, of course.
You get me?
Yeah, like that. I mean, that's very good. That's a thing. That's a very healthy mindset of. Is it nice when people believe in you? Of course. I'm never going to complain, but the only person who has to believe in you or me is me.
That's it. That's it, because...
if you don't believe in yourself, everybody else can. Makes no difference.
It does, yeah.
It really doesn't, so you might as well just take that power back to yourself. And
exactly. You are in control.
Yeah.
You are in control, and that's something that I can't say that it's not that it took me a while. I would say I have highs and low. And
of course, we all do.
Exactly. I have highs and low, and sorry, I'm laughing because it's okay. You will understand why. So I do believe in myself a lot, and that's the reason why I'm here. That's the reason why I made everything, decide to come here and still going through the struggle and not giving up. But we are human beings, so constantly I need to remember myself of the power that I have, because sometimes you wake up, you can't feel that. Sometimes you wake up and you feel like a queen. You feel like you're just full of yourself, not in a negative way, of course, full of yourself, so confident. And
it's like you feeling like, let's go get this. It's like you can feel it's possible, it's gonna happen.
Exactly. But sometimes you wake up in the morning and you can feel so heavy. You feel so heavy because you're trying, and things don't change from one day to another. But our brain is stick to that thing that you want to see the result quick, like tomorrow. But it's not like that, and that's something that it's constantly having to work on myself. That's when it comes to I need my time, my space. Like that's why I moved from Glasgow. For that reason as well, to connect with myself. Because if you lose that connection with yourself, whatever the world throw to you, you're just gonna take it. You're gonna take it in. Environment, we take so many informations, and we are not even allowed. We're not even we don't realize it sometimes because it's
around you.
Exactly. But I'd rather be aware and choose where I want to be and who I want to be with, what kind of in terms of environment, because that's important. That falls into everything that I'm doing, because
and you are responsible for the beliefs that you carry around. Like obviously information pops up all around you, but what you take on board and you're like, I'm gonna take this with me going forward, that's on you.
Exactly.
And you might not do it on purpose, and you might not realize that what you're carrying right now is not good for you, but it's still only within your power to change it. So you might as well just try to be aware.
Exactly. Yeah, let's get the brain work.
All right, okay. Well, I feel like we've got to know you quite well. If there's anything else you want to mention, if there's anything else you want to talk about, the floor is yours. If there's any projects, because we've covered the music, we've covered the dancing, obviously Little Mix, some upcoming, the music video. Yeah. Anything on the acting front that you're?
Oh yes. So.
Go on then.
So I've joined this production, Neo Productions is called, and it's an Edinburgh-based production.
Nice.
And he got a lot of projects, of course, but this project is a new one, 10 Times Beautiful.
You have mentioned that.
Yeah, and so I'm playing the role of Angela. There's a bit of lines here, but it's more dance focus. It's like a dance musical. Kind of project, pretty much, because we'll be the story will be sorry in English. The story it comes through the dance, pretty much. It's through the movements.
Through the dance.
Sorry.
It's communicated through
the dance. Yeah, through the dance, and of course I'm a singer-songwriter, so I have some part that I need to sing, but that's just Angela singing. Because she's the slave, and it's about Black history.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I can say it because it's out. If you can even look on the page, and it'd be nice because I feel like that's something that it'd be nice for people to come and see. The project, because it's really, really beautiful, and it talk about not just Black history, but women history. Of the powerful Black women that we had in the past and what they went through. And in terms of Angela, that was the slave that she was captured, and and then she stayed in America for a while, and then she died, and died serving for like this white family and all that. Yeah, of course, like they're like deep like concept, but it's like those things that it's not easy to talk about it, but it's good to be aware. Like it's always good to be aware, and and have the understanding. It's history. You need to learn it. You need to know about it, whether you like it or no. It needs to be that. But sometimes I feel like just people don't really like to come to that.
Yeah, there can be a bit of apprehension about it.
Yeah, and I understand why, because there's a lot of like but that's the history.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
It's exactly. And then we have the queen, Amanarinas. I was really trying to pronounce it. Egyptian, and her story is beautiful as well. And then we have Aya, that she's more like a women soldier.
Yeah, okay.
That was in defense of her, her land and all that. And then we have Eve as well, that, the beginning of everything.
Okay.
That we have, who else we have? Like a few more characters, to be honest.
Mythological female characters, is it?
No, they are not all mythological.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean mythological in the sense of Eve. That's what I meant.
Ah, okay, yeah.
But not all like.
No, yeah, they're not all like that. But it's really beautiful because it shows. Like there's so many stuff that I didn't even know. Like I've been learning it through watching and acting on stage with the other characters, and finding that thin line that connects all of them. You get me? It's quite beautiful. It's quite beautiful.
Cool. And this is a film production.
Theater.
Theater. Okay.
Theater production. Yeah, and I'm excited, and I'm really excited. That's pretty cool.
So that's going to be on stage in Edinburgh?
Yeah, it's going to be dance based on the 29th of this month, which is June.
Oh, nice.
And
that's not that far from now.
It's not far, and that's going to be the first time that we. The
premiere.
Yeah, the premiere. So it's exciting, and hopefully it will go forward and be touring. Pretty much, yeah.
Wow, that's pretty exciting. I'm going to ask you two last questions I like to ask people. I'll let you get on with your life and back to your food that you've been dying to have.
What?
This is maybe too much behind the scenes information, what someone's dying to finally get at dinner. One of them is obviously artists do all kinds of crazy jobs to pay the bills. If there's any crazy job that you had to do that stuck out to you, that it's in your memory of like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that so I can pay my bills.
There are so many.
Well, it's something that you want to mention.
Okay. I'm just gonna come back again to hospitality because I mean, I can't say I hate it because hate is a big word, but
you don't love it. I can tell.
I'm close. I'm really close. No, I don't
just need one more guy to be like, excuse me.
Yeah, it just like it's energy draining, like, cause I love people. I'm a really sociable person. I love to interact with people. So like if I'm doing a job and I'm giving 100%, right? Because I was working in this big hotel in Glasgow where I met Pink as well, and it's a lovely hotel, but like. You might have certain people have bad days, good days. I have bad days, good days as well. But once I step in, I'm in my professional mood and I'm working. So I don't allow that to come through. I might smile less, but I won't be disrespectful to you. And you shouldn't be disrespectful to me neither, especially if I'm a woman. You get me?
I mean, you shouldn't be disrespectful to anyone, but some people find it easier to be.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like that was one of the tricky one, because I can be professional till a certain point, but if once you step on the other side, hey, you find me.
Am I to understand that in this hotel there were some telenovela moments of
Yeah. To be honest,
there was a bit of that.
Yeah, and that shouldn't be happening to anybody, but especially as a woman. Like, why? Because I'm a woman, so you feel like you can do certain things or behave in a certain way. No, you respect me just like you respect another guy, just like you respect like the manager that's in front of you serving the wine. That's it, pretty much. So like there was a few that it's not that I just dislike it. There's a few things that you need to have patience, and I do have a lot of patience, but until a certain point, and especially doing it for a while, I'm really tired of it. And
fair enough. My other question is food related. So you have two countries you can choose, Italy or Togo or both. What's the food that people in the UK need to know about?
Oh, well, in Italy, that it's not that I'm not a big fan of food. I do like food, but I'm not the one that like I don't go crazy or I need to taste
I'm not saying taste it. I'm saying what's the food like? What is this about you? What's the food that you like? No, it's not like you need to go to this place and try the best pizza in town.
Okay. I'm just gonna go with what I eat.
Yeah, that's
pretty much. I love lasagna.
Right. Okay,
arancini.
Okay.
And then also, let me see. What was it? Oh, la luganega.
Okay, what's that? La luganega.
Your brain just went like, what?
Is that a sausage?
Luganega. Yes. I didn't know about it.
I think the Greeks call it lukanicas or something like that.
Oh, yes.
It might be.
It's so good. The reason why I know that name, first of all, is because I was doing tourism, studying it for 5 years.
Okay. But
yeah.
Okay, so that's the Italian food.
There's more than that, but yeah.
But the one that you believe people need to know about.
Focaccia.
Okay. And now you're just shouting names at you.
I got so many.
Don't you dare forget about the focaccia. My grandmother's focaccia.
No, trust me, that's the first thing that I go. And when I come back to Italy, when I come back home, my mom knows, my sister knows already. They literally make sure that they have the food ready, like focaccia and certain things.
Are you telling me that Sainsbury's special made focaccia is not the same? Is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry, no. No, at all.
Okay. So, and what's the food from Togo that people need to know about?
Oh, acheke.
Okay, what's that?
Okay, so there's a thin line between acheke and couscous.
Right.
See, couscous, so it's kind of like a cousin of couscous, which is Moroccan,
Arabic.
Yeah. Acheke is, I'll say acheke is thinner.
Right. Okay.
No, that's not the opposite. It's heavier.
Right. Okay.
It's heavier, to be honest. But it's kind of like naturally salted.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe it, but it looks like couscous, but it's not couscous, pretty much. Yeah, you can have it with fish, which I'm not really a big fan of fish, but yeah, that's how they prepare it.
What would you have it then?
With chicken.
With chicken? With it just
plain.
Dry chicken with your spice mix, not just salt.
I'm telling you, like my family laughs so much because they always tell me I don't know how to eat, and that's true. Like, you can give me food, right? It can be like, even for example, wraps. Yeah. If I go to somewhere and they're preparing wraps, I will ask that person to give me a plate, put the wrap over one side, and put the rest on the other side. I can't have it in because I don't know how to hold it. It's just like struggling to eat. I hate it. Like, I don't like to struggle. I just want to put the food in my mouth, and that's it.
I mean, it's any relief. So growing up, my uncle used to. My uncle was was an interesting character. He used to tell me a lot of lies growing up as a kid. So one of the things he told me was that if I eat the soup, but if I put it here instead of in my mouth, it still goes to my stomach. I was little. Apparently, I did. I don't know if it's true.
I hope that it wasn't hot.
No, I hope not either. But yeah, my uncle was a big joker like that. So the amount of nonsense that he made me believe, like he just entertained himself by telling me the most dumb shit.
Now I'm gonna tell you something.
All right, okay.
Okay, follow me through.
Okay.
Because Okay, you see, noodles, right? Having my noodles and having my spaghetti. First of all, I'm Italian as well because I grew up with that. Like, you know, like, so whatever, like, whenever I say it, I don't like spaghetti, people like, pooh. Why? And I'm like, I love pasta.
It's
and
not,
they're like, yeah, spaghetti.
Like, hey.
I'm like, no, spaghetti, pasta, they are two different things. Don't call them the same way.
Okay.
Like, that's something that even my own sister does with me. She's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna prepare, you know, pasta, and then she comes with spaghetti. I'm like, why did you say spaghetti? Like, no, that's pasta. I'm like, no, it's spaghetti. You get me? But like, I like noodles. I don't like spaghetti. Okay. And that's crazy, right? Because they're almost like the same thing, pretty much.
They're not too far off.
They're not too far off. Like, but because the reason why I'm saying this is because even my uncle, like another one that he's not here anymore, of course.
Right.
But he told me that spaghetti, when I was little, spaghetti were like
worms.
So every single time that I used to see spaghetti when I was little, in my mind, my eyes just were like making making them like I don't know how, but it just, I mean, I couldn't.
I'm gonna continue the tradition because I've got a niece, but I feel like there's something special about uncles around the world terrorizing their nephews and nieces with the dumbest stories.
Spare her.
Oh no. Well, I'm gonna put some thoughts in her head.
Oh my goodness, no, spaghetti. Yeah, I think of course I'm a grown-up woman right now, but so I don't.
You still look at it a bit funny, do you?
Well, there's a reason why I don't eat spaghetti, but like then it doesn't make sense that because I eat noodles. You know, it was that thing of spaghetti. That,
so if the spaghetti moves, you're like, what?
What? Don't do that. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's spaghetti, no.
Well.
So if you want to take me on date, no spaghetti, thank you. Just kidding. But
Thank
anyway,
you so much for your time, Viv.
No, thank you.
And
Thanks to you.
this will be coming out soon. I hope you will enjoy it as much as we did.